Good afternoon. Okay, I know it's Friday afternoon. The weather's beautiful outside. And there's a lot of energy due to upcoming events in the community. But remember, when we come together as a group, especially with this many people in one room, there's a few audience etiquette or expectations that we need to make sure we're upholding so that everyone can enjoy the presentation today. So we're remembering that we're seated quietly, being in control and calm bodies as we sit here and listen attentively. There's going to be a few different people speaking, myself, Mrs. Henderson, Miss Whitney, Mr. Carlson. There's going to be some interactive things where we might ask questions or ask you to participate. So it's remembering to participate appropriately, singing when it's time to sing, talk when it's time to talk, reflect when it's time to reflect, listen when it's time to listen. Hopefully, for the majority of you, you used... Someone else can answer that, please. Hopefully, for the most of you, you have used the facilities before you came here, so we don't have a constant flow or interruption. So when people are speaking, we know that you're listening and that you're tuned in and you're ready to be here. They're going to keep calling about dismissals and stuff, so one of you just, you're that now. Okay, so welcome. Today is a great day. It is our celebration of kindness, and as I talked about in lunches, a lot of people are like, it's in the afternoon, we're confused. Morning meetings are a very different type of atmosphere and environment that we're trying to create than an afternoon assembly. So that is why this is in the afternoon, because it's not a school-wide morning meeting. So we don't do it in the morning. Makes sense. We do it in the afternoon. Today we are coming together for one of my absolute favorite things at school, and that's kindness. Because as I talk about all the time with you, when people are nice to one another, and when people treat each other with kindness and respect, it makes school more enjoyable. It makes being around each other better. And it makes it so people feel safe when they're at school. And we've talked about safety in terms of making sure doors are closed and we're ready for emergency drills and things like that. But safety is also how we feel inside of our heart, inside of our bellies, and inside of our brains. And if more people are following expectations, being safe, being kind, being respectful, and are being nice to one another on a consistent basis, it's going to make this place feel a lot better. It's going to make you feel a lot safer and more comfortable so that you can focus on making great choices and being the best student and community member you can be. So I'm excited for today. There's a lot that's going to happen in a short amount of time, so buckle up and be ready as we celebrate kindness here at Marston School. As I told you in lunch, we're going to be talking about kindness today, but before that we have to talk about a few other things that sometimes take place. And we know that with more kindness, we'll have less of this. So Marston does have 4 school rules around bullying, and they're very similar to the 4 rules the 3rd graders had at Center School. These rules are going to be taught to you by your classroom teachers. They're going to take them one by one and explain it to you, have a conversation with you, maybe do an activity around it, so that everyone, before we depart for the holiday break in another month or 2, will be on the same page. Because consistency is key. If we're all doing the same thing and following the same expectations all the time, we don't have to worry about someone not following them. So our first rule is we will not bully others. Pretty self-explanatory. We're going to use kind, positive behaviors, kind, positive words and actions. We're not going to make people feel less than or excluded or teased or made fun of. We're just not going to do it. We will help students who are bullied. Mrs. Henderson talked a lot about being an upstander, which we'll get to later in our presentation, but it's standing up for people that are being treated unfairly by others. It's kind of like a herd or a pack mentality. You don't see a lot of wolves running around by themselves. You see them running around in a big group. It's so that they can protect one another from all sides and from anything that might come at them. So we're going to help other people. We're going to be upstanders and stand up and not just stand by and watch it happen. We're going to get actively involved in preventing it or stopping it. We will include students who are left out. We talk about this all the time. Someone's standing by themselves, we're going to invite them to join us. Ask them to play kickball with you. See if they want to play the tag game you're doing or go on the swings. We're not going to leave people out on purpose. We're going to include everyone in our games and activities. When we're out at recess, every single kid in the entire grade level has a right to play kickball if they want. And there's no one except the grown-ups that can tell them they can't. Because we include everyone in everything we do. And the last thing is, we will tell an adult at school and an adult at home if we know that somebody is being bullied. We're telling 2 different adults at least, one here and one there. Because sometimes you share information with someone at school and we want to help you with it, but when you tell the caring adult in your home, they might help you with it in a different way because they have more of an inside track. They know you a little better. But we need to know about it because if it's a problem, we can't help you solve it if we're not aware of it. There was a time when I was here that someone came to us in January and said, they've been bothering me all school year. And I said, why didn't you tell me in September? Then October, November, December, and January would have been a lot better for you. We talked about if you see something, say something. Say something to the person. Say something to a trusted adult you have at school. You have your classroom teacher. You have the integrated arts teachers you know very well. You might work with an interventionist in reading or math or speech or something else, and then now you have your mentor group teacher who is another trusted adult that you can go to and share this kind of information with. But we need to know about it so we can help you solve your problems. So those are our 4 rules around bullying. And what does it look like to be unkind? Bullying, by our school district definition, is when someone purposely says or does mean or hurtful things to another person who has a hard time defending him or herself. It's purposeful. It's intentional. You're doing it for a reason. And it might be to someone who has a hard time defending themselves, whether it's with words or actions. Maybe they're kind of by themselves, which is why we talk about that group mentality and sticking together. It might look like teasing, saying something unkind to someone else, just for the sole purpose of hurting their feelings or making them feel bad. It might be unsafe body contact. If someone doesn't want your hands on their body, they have that right not to be kicked or tripped or poked or pushed or flicked or fluffed. Damaging someone's property. It's their stuff. It's on their desk, in their locker, on their locker, in their backpack. It's theirs. It's not yours to touch. It might be spreading rumors and gossip. The easiest way to stop the spread of rumors is just stop them. By a silent show of hands, how many people have ever played the game telephone before? Okay. How many people, hands down, would be willing to say that generally by the time the first person, if I started something and I passed it up and down this 3rd grade row, by the time it got down to Santino, do you think it's going to be exactly what I told Abner? No way. Stories change way too much. The easiest way to stop rumors is just shut them down. Don't repeat them. Report it to an adult. Because the original intent of what you said is going to get changed around in a hurtful manner, and that's not good for anybody. And of course, it's excluding someone. It's making it so someone can't participate in an activity or event that everyone else is participating in. All of you have the right to do what you like within our expectations in the realm of safety out on the playground. No one can tell you you're not allowed to swing except a grown-up. No one can tell you you can't play a football with the rest of the kids out there, or foursquare, or whatever it might be. Everyone's allowed to do everything, so we include others.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Sadler. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. As Mr. Sadler was talking about the 4 bullying rules that you're going to explore with your classroom teachers a little bit further, the last 3 rules all have to do with being an upstander. And so I've been talking a lot in lunchtime with you this week. So raise your hand if you remember some of the conversations we've had in lunch. Well, good. That means you were listening. Thank you. So yeah, we've talked a lot about upstander. And some of you knew the word, some of you didn't. But really what an upstander is standing up for someone. You're helping out. So the definition of an upstander is someone who takes action to support or stand up for someone who's being treated unkindly. And I've talked a lot with you in the lunchroom this week that our upstanders are some of our most important people, and we can all do that. And it's a really easy thing to do, right? As Mr. Sadler just said, if you see something, say something. And so since that conversation the other day, I've had quite a few boys and girls come to me that they've been seeing something and they've been telling me about it. And I've been helping some kiddos in the school to feel better about something that was going on. Because that's our job, Mr. Sadler, myself, your classroom teachers. But we want to start being comfortable talking to anyone at the school, okay? So I know some of you are new to our school, but if you look around the room, you have some wonderful adults. You have your classroom teachers, your interventionists, you have Mr. Sadler, myself, Ms. Whitney, all of your IA teachers. Also include your bus driver. That's a really important person to get to know and want to feel comfortable talking to. You have your caring adults at home. In the lunchroom, you have Mrs. Tovey, you have different people that are on duty, right? And if you're out at recess, sometimes your classroom teacher's not out there, but realize, sometimes they take turns doing recess duty. You want to get to know the other teachers on duty so that if you see something, you feel comfortable going to tell them. Because sometimes if we wait too long and you go inside and tell your classroom teacher after something happened at recess, it could be too late to help at that point. We can still help, but if we were out there and you told someone on recess duty, they can do it right then. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Thumbs up?
Yeah.
So you just want to, if it's in the lunchroom, tell us. If it's on the bus, you really want to start with the bus driver. So I've been encouraging some of you to go tell your bus driver, then come see me. And sometimes I've been coming with you to tell the bus driver. And so we'll help you here at school learn how to be an upstander. Sometimes it comes easy to us. So raise your hand if you're actually pretty good about telling adults what's going on. So some hand. Who gets a little nervous? Like you feel like you're tattling? Yeah. So we want to help you realize that there are some situations where you're not tattling. And I know when you were younger at Center, you learned a lot of versus tattle, versus tell. Thumbs up if you've heard those words before. Yeah, so we're going to help you gain some comfort in being an upstander because it can be scary. But the other part that's kind of scary is if we don't be an upstander, then someone might be hurt and we're not helping them. Okay, so we'll help you through being an upstander. Okay, so ways that you can do it is be kind. So use kind words and include everyone. And by doing this, you create a space where everyone feels safe and accepted. So being an upstander could just be including someone. Hey, come play with us, right? Maybe you notice someone on the swings. Do you want to come play with us today? Or can I join you on the other swing, right? Maybe you're on the bus and you notice someone sitting alone, so you ask if you can sit near them and say hello, right? It's being kind. Or the buddy bench, great example, yeah. So we have different areas that we can include everyone. The second one says, an upstander, ways we can do it. There's strength in numbers. So kids tend to be mean when they're all by themselves. Ask them to join so that they're not alone. So those of you who just raised your hand and said, I'm a little nervous to say something, right? Do you have some good friends at school? Raise your hand, some of the people who said that. Okay, those are people you could go say, this is going on, I'm a little nervous to tell someone, could you come with me, right? If you see something on the bus and you tell your friend, can you come to the bus driver and tell me together? Right, so that's ways we can get there. Because I know it can be scary to say something, but maybe with a peer, that would help you feel more comfortable. Okay, and we can get to solving all those problems. And then the third one says, make an adult aware if something unkind is happening. If an adult can see and hear what's happening, they can help. Okay, so again, that phrase, see something, say something, you're going to hear us say it all year long. Because if we say something, we can solve all those things and make Marston a really just pleasant, no bullying, kindness all around, and it makes us a great place to be. Okay, so upstander is something you're going to hear a lot of us this year say. So Miss Whitney is next.
Thanks, Mrs. Henderson. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. You guys are doing a wonderful job being great listeners, so keep that up. When Mrs. Henderson was talking about being an upstander, one of the things she mentioned is feeling safe and feeling accepted emotionally, right? So when we talk about trusted adults, when Ms. Cruz and Detective Connors and I teach it in your classes in a couple of weeks, we're going to be reminding you about the differences between physical and emotional safety. And part of that is feeling accepted by your peers, right? Feeling accepted for who you are. So I am going to read you a story about how acceptance can be your superpower, okay? Hi, my name is Lisa, and I am 7 years old. I'm really rather quiet and not very bold. My hobbies include singing. I love to sing out loud, only in my bedroom, never in a crowd. Usually I'm cheerful and always feeling glad, but yesterday Lucas made me feel very sad. He's my friend from school and we usually get along, but yesterday was different and it went horribly wrong. Through every single playtime and all through my classes, he teased me and made me cry because I wear glasses. I want to be like others, I cried to my mom that night. She held me in her arms and squeezed me very tight. I know you do, my little love, but let me try to explain. If everyone were the same in the world, it would really be plain. Height, skin, or hair color, or even glasses on our face. We all have differences, making the world an interesting place. I never even thought of it that way. What Mom said was true. Then Dad came in with fruit and showed me something too. Here I have a banana and an apple red and ripe. I know you love your fruit. Which is your favorite type? Neither, I said to Dad. I love them both the same. Even though they're different, said Dad, and I understood the game. We all have our differences, Mom said. It's what makes us unique, from the way we look and think to the languages we speak. Even Dad is different from us, with no hair on his head. But instead of loving him less, I love him more instead. What about your Uncle Jimmy, the one with the curly hair? He is also different because of his wheelchair. That's right, my dad said. He can't walk at all. But that didn't stop him from winning in wheelchair basketball. I then started to think about all the people I knew. The thing we have in common is we're all different too. My grandma talks through sign language with the help of her hands, but she never lets her deafness ruin any of her plans. My friend Betty, who's adopted, and all of my friends the best, she says, I'm glad my new family chose me. I feel so very blessed. To accept each other's differences, Dad said, is called diversity, and it means we must treat everyone with respect and courtesy. Our differences are many, making the world a better place. I'm now proud of my glasses that sit on my face. With them, I know I see better and have a different view. They help me read my music, which makes me sing better too. Diversity is acceptance of all our different ways. If everyone understood that, we'd all have better days. Some people like to swim, and others like to run. Some people love winter, and others love the sun. Our differences are many, from our clothes down to our looks, from the subjects we love at school and even our favorite books. Now I have this knowledge, it wouldn't be fair to keep it to myself and with my friends not to share. The next day, when Lucas saw me, he came up to me and said, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. Can we be friends instead? I appreciated his apology, so to Lucas I did say, you really hurt my feelings when you teased me yesterday. I'm proud to wear my glasses. They are a part of me. It's important that you know that they are to help me see. I'm really very sorry, he said. I didn't mean to make you sad. Thank you for talking to me. Your friendship makes me glad. So down we sat at playtime, and I told him all my news of diversity and acceptance and the behavior we choose. Just like all the petals on all these different flowers, diversity is beautiful and gives us superpowers. Please join me and Lucas, spread the word to all you know, Acceptance is our superpower, and together we will grow. Accepting others starts with accepting ourselves. So think of some things you love about yourself. Okay, that is the end of our story. Acceptance is my superpower. Pretty cool, huh? Like the book said, being kind to others and accepting others, also a really big part of it is being kind and accepting ourselves for who we are, right? Because like a lot of us adults say, we can't be kind to others unless we're kind to ourselves, right? So it all starts with being kind to ourselves. So now we are going to take, well, this is actually perfect. Because our next activity, we're actually going to take a moment of pause, okay? And you guys are all doing a wonderful job being quiet with your bodies and not talking to your peers. And I'm actually going to be leading us through a little reflection passage where you are going to be able to listen to my words, try to close your eyes or have a soft gaze somewhere in the room, okay? And you're just going to listen to my words and reflect for a minute about how you feel about what I'm saying, okay? So it's really important when we're making kind choices to have reflection, right? Have you ever done something that maybe you're like, that wasn't the kindest thing I've done before? Raise a hand. You're like, I think I probably see most of the hands in this room raised, including myself and all the adults, right? Because as humans, we make mistakes sometimes, and we learn from them. It makes us a better person. So reflecting on that's really important, okay? All right, so I am going to grab my little chime here, and this is going to tell us the beginning of the passage and the end of the passage, okay? So when I ring the chime, that's going to be your cue to know that I have to have really big listening ears for Miss Whitney right now, okay? And then I'm going to either close my eyes if I feel comfortable doing that, or I'm going to have a soft gaze just on one point in the room, okay? And try really hard to focus on yourself with this, alrighty? Okay, are we ready? Okay. Close your eyes and take a very deep breath. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Keep breathing deeply and quietly and feel the cool air come in through your nose and flow all the way down to your belly. Feel your belly extend as you breathe in and breathe out. Right, again, focus on yourself here. Now listen carefully to all the quiet sounds in this space. You may hear outside noises in the gym, just listen. Now turn your focus within. Listen quietly to what you hear happening within your body. Can you hear your heart beating? Can you hear your breath flowing slowly in and out? Imagine now inside of you there is a big, beautiful bucket. I know it sounds funny, just imagine. Everyone has one, though we can't see it with our eyes. When we feel good, our buckets are full. When we're feeling bad, our buckets are low or even empty. Did you know that when you fill someone else's bucket with kindness, helpfulness, or even a smile, your own bucket gets filled up too? Let's take another deep breath in and a long breath out. That's actually the way we fill our buckets. When we share goodness or gratitude and think happy thoughts, our buckets are filled with so much goodness. When kind words are spoken, buckets get fuller. And when unkind words are spoken, buckets become a little bit emptier. And we want all our buckets to be full of love, kindness, peacefulness, and happiness. So you can all make the choice each and every day to show loving kindness to others and help fill their buckets. In doing so, your own bucket gets filled to the top and can even overflow with happiness. Let's imagine for a moment a time where you might have gotten upset with someone. Just imagine in your head. If you haven't closed your eyes, just try. Try to imagine in your head. What do you imagine happening to your bucket? Also, what's happening to the other person's bucket? We don't want empty buckets because it doesn't feel nice inside. So your goal when you get upset is to talk about what you're feeling without emptying your bucket or the other person's bucket. And if your bucket ever feels low or even empty, you can take a deep breath and remember, I am loved. You can choose to be grateful for the good things and people in your life. Now when you're ready, take one more deep breath in and let everything go. When I ring the chime, you can open your eyes if you haven't already. Okay, open your eyes. And just think about how you're feeling on this Friday, okay? I noticed when you came into the gymnasium, the energy was really high, right? And that's okay. We love good energy. I noticed how powerful your silence was throughout that. So that was really cool to see. So give yourself a little pat on the back. Maybe give your neighbor a little wave. Did a good job, yeah? All right. Okay, I am going to hand the mic back over to Mrs. Henderson.
Marston students. Thank you. All right, nice job following that signal. That was another way to show kindness. You saw my hand go up, and that means you were respectful that I was on the microphone. We're ready for the next part. And I also just want to say, I love this slide I get next, what does it look like to be kind? But you were just kind as you responded to the signal, but you were also really kind. Raise your hand if you saw me having some technical difficulties over there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes that happens. It happens to your classroom teachers, and sometimes you're ready to go with your lesson and something happens, technology can fail, right? And you were really kind not to make any comments in the stands, just politely sitting, and then Miss Whitney went on to her next thing. So that was really nice. So up on the slide, it says, what does it look like to be kind? So put yourself in someone else's shoes, right? Even if you can think about what I was just feeling up here, like, oh no, is my slideshow gonna come back on? But if you think about that, and you're kind to me, like you just were, everything was good, right? If you think about at recess time, putting yourself in someone's shoes, maybe there's 5 of you that get out to a game, and there's only 4 squares, and someone's out, right? And they're not included in the first round of the game, right? Maybe you make sure that they have the next turn. You don't just let them stand over there, right? If you think about a game that's happening and someone's standing off to the side and they're not included, how that might feel. Put yourself in their shoes, right? Put yourself in the shoes of someone on the bus is being treated unkindly. You wouldn't want to be in that situation. So putting yourself in someone else's shoes is a figure of speech, right? It's not really someone else's shoes. It's what would it be like if you were in that position. And so if you realize that someone's not feeling good in the way that they're in position, you want to try to help them. The next thing is treat others the way you want to be treated. So raise your hand if you've heard that golden rule over the years. Yeah, it keeps coming back because it's such a wonderful golden rule in life for everybody. All the way from littles, all the way up to when you're ready as an elderly too, treating people kindly all the time, right? I know even as adults, everyone at Marston treats each other kindly. All the teachers treat each other kindly, just like we want you to do. It's a really easy rule, so I want you to remember it. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And then think before you act. This one can be tricky. Raise your hand if you've ever taken a moment to really, and you didn't think before you acted, then you were kind of hard on yourself after. Has anyone ever done that? And you're like, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, it's because we're human, right? So we have to really learn from that if you don't think before you act. But it also takes time. So you're learning, and just like you come to school to learn how to read, to write, do math, science, social studies, you also come to school to learn these skills. And sometimes we have to help you with them, right? And we may say, did you think before you said that, right? And what we're trying to help you do is reflect and become a better person overall, okay? The next one says, include others who are left out. We've said that a lot today. Just make sure if you see someone left out, you help them. Okay, that's an upstander. And then see something, say something, and then be friendly, right? You see a lot of friendly faces in here right now, and that's just a simple way you can be kind every day. Okay? Your facial expressions, raise your hand if you know what facial expressions are. Yeah, your body language, it says a lot, right? If you picture yourself in class and someone answers something and maybe it wasn't the correct answer, we don't want to have a face, right? We want to have kind, neutral faces. But we also really want to be friendly. So it's really important that you think before you do your facial expressions too. They say a lot. Have you ever seen someone without a kind facial expression before? Could be like an eye roll or giving you a look. Yeah, those hurt, right? So that's what we're talking about up here, right? Be friendly. It also includes your facial expressions, okay, and your words. All right. Thank you for being good listeners.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you some reasons on why should we be kind. Because you're probably sitting here thinking, they've been telling me, be kind, be kind, be kind, but what for? What's the reason? I'm going to tell you some reasons why you should be kind, and then afterwards you're actually going to hear from some children, and they're going to tell you from their own perspective, because you can hear it from an adult all day, but when you hear it from other students, other children your age, it helps to put things into perspective for you, and helps you gain a deeper understanding. But why are we kind? Because science has shown that acts of kindness, big or small, make the giver and even lucky bystanders happier. So it can be 3 or more people that benefit from one act of kindness. If I do something kind for Mr. McKenna, he feels good because I just did something nice for him. I helped him out with something, I helped him solve a problem, I helped him figure things out, I helped him clean up a mess. I feel good because now Mr. McKenna feels good. I see him over there smiling, he's excited that it's all cleaned up, that the problem's been solved. That makes me feel good. Indirectly, there might be 3 or 4 other children who are watching that interaction. And now they feel good because they see 2 adults helping each other out, 2 adults smiling, and 2 adults doing what we hope you do, which is help solve problems with one another. Scientifically proven that it will make people happier. Kindness makes everyone feel good. Acts of kindness increase energy and give a wonderful feeling of optimism. I want you to run a little experiment with yourself. Sometime over this weekend or next week, I want you to do something kind for someone else. And I want you to see how it makes you feel. And just like I talked about that interaction with Mr. McKenna, it made a number of us feel good. When people treat you well, it boosts you up. When I walk in first thing in the morning and I know we have great stuff happening, like a celebration of kindness, I'm tapping around, I'm tiptoeing, I'm feeling great in the main office. And I don't want other things kind of bringing me down or negative energy. I come and interact with you throughout the day, and it helps fill my bucket and boost me up. It makes me feel great about why I come here every single day. When we focus on kindness, we see things like bullying, teasing, and other hurtful behaviors decline. If you make a conscious effort to be kind or nice or respectful to someone every single day, first, you're not going to have to think about it anymore. It's going to be muscle memory. It's just going to be something you do. It's going to be part of who you are, your daily routine, your internal character. And you're going to see less negative or unwanted behaviors, because if everyone starts being nice, no one really has room or time to be unkind to each other. Kindness is contagious. Just like smiling, kindness tends to spread around as soon as someone starts it. It's a chain reaction. And there's a video our 4th and 5th graders have seen before. At the very end, we'll show you that will greatly illustrate that chain reaction. That positive energy going and going and going and spreading. Being kind gives you an opportunity to meet people you might not have otherwise met. People want to be around people who are nice. And you're thinking, well, sometimes I make an unkind joke and I get some laughs. You do, for a little while. But eventually people are going to get sick of those unkind jokes or that teasing. They're going to think, oh boy, are they going to turn it on me next? They might be doing it towards this kid now, but eventually I might be the next target. People want to be around you because he or she's always nice. They're always sharing. They're very helpful. They listen. They're always smiling and upbeat and positive. They include everyone. More people want to be around that type of person than the other ones. And why be kind? It's the right thing to do. Not just at school because it's one of our expectations and one of our bully rules, because in life in general, it's the right thing to do. To be an upstanding, decent human being a good citizen and community member. It's the right thing to do. Making good choices is the right thing to do. So, let's hear from the kids.
To be kind is to acknowledge other people and make them feel good.
Being kind to me means to be caring or to, I guess, respect other people.
It means to be kind, to be generous. Let's say if someone dropped their sandwich, you should help them out.
It's important to be nice to other people so that they feel that they have a part in the community, that somebody cares for them.
You don't know where they're coming from, what struggles they're having.
If you be nice, it gives you a magical life. If you're not nice to other people, they might be mean to you. If you're not nice, maybe they don't want to play with you. You won't have any friends. The other person can feel bad, and then they're uncomfortable.
I mean, why would you want to pick on someone else? Because they might be different from you, or different race, they might come from a different place.
Even if someone's different from you, you shouldn't bully them or be mean to them.
How is it gonna benefit you to making them feel bad?
If you're not nice to people, it might come back to you.
Treat them how you want to be treated.
The outside human being is the cover of the book. The inside might be a very good story, but you would never know if you didn't get past the first page.
Where you come from makes you special.
I feel everyone's equal because I'm a girl. That doesn't mean I'm weaker.
We're all the same species. We all have the same things inside of us.
I don't think color or race or ethnicity is much of a difference between people. I think all in common, we just want to be loved, we want to have a place to sleep at night, and we just want to have a great future.
My hope for the future is to give everyone the same right and feel safe wherever they are.
I want everybody to turn good, and I hope nothing bad happens to anybody.
I hope you respect other people.
I hope that you won't be judged on how privileged and how much money you have. You're judged on who you are.
I hope that everyone will be nice to each other. And that's my hope.
Okay. I hope some of that resonated with you and you think about it, and at least you take one thing that one child said, and that helps you make a better choice or a difference in the way you interact with other people. We're kind because it feels good for us and for others. Because people want to come to school and focus on the good stuff and not worry about drama and teasing and rumors and someone being mean to them. People want to come here to learn, to hang out and socialize with their friends, to grow. And they don't want to have to worry about all the other stuff. So if all of us in this room make a conscious effort to be kind all the time, you're not going to have to worry about as much of the other stuff. Mr. Carlson's going to talk in a moment about a school/community-wide kindness initiative we're going to participate in. And it's called Treats for Troops. And I'm going to let Mr. Carlson talk about it. But my hope is that every single person in this room can do at least one thing to assist us with this program that Mr. Carlson's going to share.
Thank you, Mr. Sadler. And then after this one, right?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sadler. Good afternoon. Hey, the first kind thing you can do is when somebody says hi or good afternoon, you say it back, right? One of the ways that I always try to be kind, I think it's so important, and we've already been talking in your classes, that we support our local veterans. You know, veterans are anybody that's ever been in the military, and people that are in the military right now. And I'm always looking for new ways to be kind for them and to have a fun assembly, because we have a lot of the same veterans that come. So I thought this year, I had heard about this Treats for Troops. How many people are coming to Trunk or Treat tomorrow? Cool. If you're not, don't worry about it. You can still participate. But tomorrow at Trunk or Treat, there will be a station set up. I will have a station set up. It's a little bit spooky. So 5th grade, you might be a little bit scared if you come over. But anyway, I'm going to have a tent set up, and if you give a couple pieces of candy, just a couple pieces, I'll have a bin out front. You can come to my photo booth and you can take pictures. You can also tell your parents, and they'll be there, and I'll be talking about it. We're also going to take donations. So what it is, think about it. This is going to go not to the veterans that come here. We're going to send this candy off to actual troops that are deployed right now. And what that means is they're somewhere not home. They're scared. You know, they're trained to fight. They don't know what's going to happen. And it's a scary thing. And they're there protecting our countries. And think of how good it will feel when all of a sudden they open up this box of candy from you guys, right? It just makes them feel nice. It makes them remember why they're there and that they're protecting all of us. So it's just a way that we can support them. We're also going to be taking donations because we have to pay to ship out the candy. We're going to be working through an organization called Soldiers Angels. So I will have that at Trunk or Treat. And then after Halloween, when you have like a ton of candy, you can bring it in. Classroom teachers, I'm going to come around, I'll give you guys a box or something. You can keep it in your classroom, and then I'll come around to each classroom and maybe get some pictures of you guys donating it. But you can bring in your candy, and we can put it in the box, and then we can send it out to the soldiers. And so you can it's okay if you bring the candy that's not your favorite, that's okay to do. Like if you have a favorite candy, or if you're allergic to a candy, then bring all of that in. That's a good thing to bring in. So how many people think they'll bring in some candy for our troops? Awesome. Every little bit helps. So tell your parents what we're doing. We're going to be sending it out, but we're going to be sending out some candy to our troops. You'll have about a week from November 1st, which is next Wednesday. We'll have about a week. I want to collect it before Veterans Day, and then I'm going to show the veterans a video of some kids donating candy. I'm going to interview some of you, and I think they'll just love it that we're giving to the troops. So it'll be just a fun thing we can do for Veterans Day and say thank you. So that being said, I have talked to you about this song, and I think it's one of the most important lessons that I could ever teach. So we're going to sing a song called Build a House. Oh. Hey, thank you. That was very kind of you. Hold on.
ready? Just 4, 3, here we go.
Every step, every action, every word, each reaction, everything that you do, it was like therapy. You can never take it back, only work to make it better. In the long run, I'll see it was only up to me. It's your house, it's your palace, so don't fill it out of malice. And you do every day, it's the first thing people say. Along the road ahead, yes, how you know that happens is the only true test.
Give yourselves feel free. Here we go. Every step, every action, every word, every action, everything that you do, it reflects back on you. You can never take it back, only work to make it better. In the long run, I will see it was only up to me. It's your house, it's your palace, so don't fill it out of malice. What you do every day is the present you will set. Along the road ahead, and there is no GPS. How you decide to act is the only true test. Third grade, I know you just learned it, but do you want to try? You can never take it back, only work to make it better. In the long run, I will see it was only up to me. It's your house, it's your palace, so don't fill it out of malice. What you want every day is the person you will stay. Along the path ahead, and there is no GPS. How you decide to act is the only true test. All right, here we go. Build a house where you wanna live. Looking back, you proud of all that you did. You're the only factor you can control. All I do will reflect on my soul. Give yourselves a round of applause. Teachers, I will follow up with more information about the Treats for Troops. And thank you guys ahead of time for all your generosity. It's just a great way we can give back to the community.
So I know we've been here for a little bit and we've got to go in a minute, but a couple of things. Think about the song. Think about how your words and your actions reflect on who you are as a person and what kind of person you want to be for yourself and for others. I want you to make good choices. I want you to fill your hearts with love so that you can share kindness with everyone else in our school. And I want every one of you to think of ways you can color someone else's world with kindness. Because when you color their world, you will color your world as well. I appreciate what a kind and respectful listening audience you were today. I appreciate the fact that so many of you were tuned in and engaged. And by a silent show of hands, how many people think that they can figure out simple ways to incorporate kindness into each and every one of their days? And I love all the hands, but here's what I'm going to say. Actions speak louder than words. We want to see it. We want to hear it, and we want to feel it inside this school. Pour kindness all over the place with everything you do, and you will see favorable results will be coming to you in the end. Have a wonderful day. Have an awesome, don't worry about that. Have an awesome weekend. We will get 3rd grade lined up, followed by 4th and 5th as it is almost dismissal time. Have a wonderful weekend.